Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Mulligan. How are you? I can't wait to read this book. It's called I Love My Family. And I love reading about these books because it really talks about family members that we're so familiar with, and we have such great background knowledge on what our family is all about. And today, I'm going to teach you something really cool that I've talked about in a lesson previously or before this. And I'm going to have us read the objective together. I can, repeat after me, I can figure out what a pattern book does, and how it changes at the end. So today I have a book that I'm going to do a little walk with you. It's called I Love My Family. It has, let's count our words first of all so we know how many words are here. We use the space and we frame it in. One word, remember, this is I. It is not L, it's I. It's a word. Even though it stands by itself, it's still a word. I love my family. Let's count how many words. One word, two words. Let me go down here. 3 words, 4 words. Remember, when we start reading, we feel the spine, and that's where we go. We go this direction. When we're done, we sweep and come down here. That direction. We always go this way when we read. And we always look at the picture for a clue because it might be connected to the text. Family. This word matches the picture. Okay, and if I don't know it, I'm going to get my mouth ready. Family. I'm going to take you for a walk. And I'm going to show how the author, Miss Joy Cowley, created this book. She's going to show you on each page that the words look almost the same on each page, but the last word changes. We call that repetition, a repeated pattern. It means the same thing over and over, but the last word is different. So I'm going to show you how that works, and I put a post-it note on the word that's different. I'm going to read this to you. You read it with me too. I love my family. Read it with Miss Mulligan. I love my family. Now, when we get on the first page, you have 3 words on this page. And I wonder who this is. Okay, and we're going to figure that out in a minute, but I'm going to show you how patterns work. Pattern books work and how they look. So you can see a pattern, and when the teacher starts reading it, oh, I see a pattern. Miss Kodesh, look, there's a pattern. So I'm going to show you some words. The word I is here. Love and my. Read that. I love my, and there's a word under here that I've covered up. Now I'm going to open up this side because this is the next page. Do you see anything that looks the same? Oh, on the next page, a repeated pattern. There's I, there's love, there's my, and who's that man? That's his father or dad. It starts with an F. Father. There it is. I love my father. So I know that this says I love my like the other side, but this word's going to change. I love my, if that's father, who's this lady? Starts with an M. Mother. I see a pattern. I see I love my, and this is different, father. But I see this, I love my, which is the same pattern. That's different, mother. But it helps me be very successful when I'm reading. It gives me confidence to read. It gives me confidence that I know the pattern and I'm going to try that and I'm getting ready and I'm going to remember it and I'm going to know to start my mouth with I on that next page. Ready? I love my father. Remember? Get your confidence because it was here. I love my mother. I'm going to turn the page. I did it again. Oh, there it is again. Look it. I love my. Oh, blank. This word's going to be different. Look at, there's the pattern again. I love my. Look at that. Who's this? It starts with an S. I wonder who she is. I love my who is she? Sister? Oh, it sounds right. It looks right. I love my sister. You're right. Who's that other person he lives with, maybe? There's that same pattern. I love my, let's try to guess what it is. It starts with a B. I love my brother. I bet it's brother. Yes, it is. I love my brother. On the next page, we can start off with that. Maybe if it's a pattern again. I love my. Get your mouth ready again. I love my. Now we got to figure out this person and we got to figure out this person because this picture will match this word. This picture will maybe match this word. But we've got that memory and we know that pattern and we know we're going to start with I. We're going to start with I. We're going to start with love. We're going to start with love. I love. You ready? I love my grandma. It is grandma. You try it. I don't hear you, louder. I love my grandma. Did you say grandpa? Let's look. There's the G. Grandpa, grandpa, grandpa. Let's try it. Do you remember that pattern? I love my. You ready? Let's try it. I love my grandpa. You read it. You're so confident now. Go. I love my grandpa. Now, the trick is the last page. The trick in pattern books is there's a surprise ending. It means the last page totally changes usually. It's not the same pattern. It's making sure we're paying attention to the first letter, the first word, the first sound. Get my mouth ready. Because in pattern books, usually the last page changes. Oh, and it does. Because I remember on all the other pages, the pattern was I love my, and then we have a little blank on the end. A word that goes in there, and that word changes. But these are all the same in the rest of the pages. I love my blank. So this is going to be different. So this is where you need to really look at your picture as before you read. And if you don't know it, you've got to start trying to push up some of those CVC words or sounds if you don't know it. And you got to check the first letter and last letter and even get your vowel. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It does not start with I, does it? That is not the same. That's different. Not the same. It's called different. Okay, same would be I and I. Even though that I looks different, that is an I. It's a different font. It's not an L, it's an I. But that is I. So we know this is different. It does not start with I anymore. So the last page changes in the pattern book. So if I don't know the word, I'm going to push it up. But. And I know that's the word I. But I don't, and I remember that word. I love. Love. So I'm going to reread it. But I don't love my. We've known that word over there. Read it again. but I don't love my grandpa's what's he got here on his beard? It's not beard, whiskers. That makes sense. Let's read it. But I don't love, we're going to sweep down and go down here, my grandpa's whiskers. They itch and they scratch and they don't like it. He doesn't like it because it makes him itchy. So, when we go through a level A book or a B book, or often one of these early readers, we really want to choose these type of books because it builds confidence. It helps you predict each page and get your mouth ready, and helps you get the start of how words work, how our pages work, how our sentences work, and it gets you ready to read. And the way we get you ready is getting your mouth ready. So when you're reading with me, you've got to get your mouth ready. Pattern books are the same at the beginning, middle, and at the very last page, bam, surprise, it's different. Say, I can. Figure out. Pattern books. To see how they repeat. And know, there's a trick or a tricky part at the end. A trick or a tricky part at the end. The last page changes. I hope you enjoy the book, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.